sometimes, if not all of the time, the hardest thing to do in life, in my opinion, is to carry on once someone you have loved has passed away. It's actually really amazing how we do go on and we do find happiness and joy and laugh again after we lose the people we love more than anything. It's something that's not discussed enough. You know, it's the hardest part of life, and all it does is magnify the absolute truth that the only thing we have is time with each other. Even these trivial moments that we have with each other mean everything. The times that seem mundane and boring mean everything. The times that don't seem exciting with the person we love mean everything. The memories that we have with the people that we love are all that we have left. And yet when we're with these people that we love, we have no idea that we're actually creating a time that is going to be one that is only left to our memories. How do we keep going when it's so heartbreaking and devastating and sad to lose someone that we love? I had one patient with his wife for over 60 years talking about how hard he's had it since he lost his wife, again, after being together for over 60 years. And it's hard for him. And it made me laugh because he said, well, thank God I have the cats. And that made me laugh because I have cats. And I mean, sometimes even a cat will give you something to lean on for emotional support after losing someone that is so intricate to your life. Especially when you lose a spouse, when you lose your husband or your wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, if you haven't been married but you've been together for a long time or for a short amount of period. No one can tell you the value of a relationship based on the time, but nevertheless, if you're together and married for over 50, 60 years, I can't imagine how absolutely heartbreaking and devastating it is to lose your partner, to lose your wife, to lose your husband. And you know, the only thing that I can say to these people is life is sad. It's sad. I mean, what's sadder than that? That we think we have forever and then it's over. But we have to continue with what life we have left. Because as long as we are alive, we live to continue to give love to whomever is left here. Your children, your friends, and the cats. But I don't think, again, people discuss enough. And I guess because people don't want to feel like it's a morbid topic. But it's not morbid. It is essentially life. We all are born and we all will have a point where we pass away. If we can just live in this heightened state of awareness that the moments between when we're born and when we pass is the most important, and not to focus on these material things that will also become dust and unimportant, we can live a better, happier life. Grasp on to that person, to that animal, to that love that you share. Because we don't know what can happen to anyone. And we've already experienced tragedy in our lives. We've already lost people. And we didn't think that we could get through it. But we did get through it. Grief and depression are actually two separate areas of the brain. You can't actually treat grief with medication. Depression is different than grief. Grief is longing for something and someone who is no longer there. That's not depression. So if you're grieving someone, or if you've dealt with grief, it has to naturally pass on its own. Because now you have to find a new way of living and existing without the permanence of that person being in your everyday life. And it is nevertheless harder, of course, obviously, when you lose someone that you've been with every single day of your life. I'm going to add this because it's part of it, and I think it's important to mention that when you lose animals especially, and I've spoken to many people, doctors, regular people who aren't doctors, nurses, friends, patients. And when they lose an animal, a lot of them will say that they won't even get another animal because the pain was so severe and the grief was too much to think about handling it again. I come into contact with at least 8 people a day. And all of them share the same kind of information, that they've had a cat or a dog and how painful it was to lose them. Or contrary, if they lose a husband or a wife, their cat or dog keeps them going. Isn't that interesting? Or you don't think that you'll ever be able to love again another animal, another cat or dog, but one finds their way into your home, into your heart, and you know what's coming, but you block it off, you live in the now, because remember, and you've seen and heard this before, but I'll say it, you are their whole lives. You are your cat and dog's whole existence. So whatever you do for them, what an honor. Of course, it's just part of our life, because our life is much longer than our cats and dogs. Once I lost my cat, I will tell you, after 18 years, I was so devastated, and it's so painful that when my phone, you know how your phone is always sending you memories, like memories from 5 years ago, 2 years ago. I don't even want to look at the memories because it's too sad and too heartbreaking. But I was sent 2 more cats. One was abandoned, one was a stray. So I'm not replacing the love that I had from my whisk, but I'm just continuing the love. Because these cats, what would be their fate, right? Even though I did go to the animal shelter first, but what was their destiny if we didn't take them in? And it's getting better and better every day as far as these 2 cats getting along. But they both had the same destiny, even though they both have different energy and different personalities. It's funny, I just see so much stuff online where people are against each other, men, women, different types of clubs people are in. But essentially, we're gone before you know it. And don't you want to share your time with another human being? Or is it just too painful to think of the inevitable when they might pass away? Maybe we're all just trying to avoid pain. But it's worth it. It's worth all the joy for the temporary grief, because grief does subside. Grief will go away, because we couldn't survive as a species, as human beings throughout history and thousands of years if we weren't able to survive grief. We were always losing people through wars, through famine. through disease, through accidents, plagues, and yet humanity keeps going. So you will feel grief. It will feel as if it'll never go away. But eventually, we are blessed. It does go away. And it's not a disservice to be happy and to laugh and find joy after your animal and the person you love passes away. And one thing I want to say to you that may or may not be true, but I lean more towards this than I do anything else. Energy never goes away. And I do believe that whoever passes away, our animals and the people we love, our parents, our husbands, our wives, people close to us, they never go away. They go to another dimension. And one day we will meet with them again. But right now we're just on the earth realm. I said I'm not 100%. I'm flirting with this idea and I like it. That, think about 1,000,000 years ago, where did you exist? Where were you 1,000,000 years ago? 100,000 years ago, where did you exist? Well, that's the same place you go back to when you pass away. And we have karma and connections to all the entities that we meet with in life. Our parents, the people we love, our boyfriend, our girlfriend, our husband, our wives, our friends, our family, our children. We have karma. We're connected. And we need to stop making a game out of the relationships we have with people in life. Because it's over before you know it. And we need to appreciate the only thing that matters. The time we have with each other. And it doesn't have to be a perfect relationship. It just has to be one that you enjoy. Sometimes a joyful relationship doesn't even have to be perfect. It's just stimulating, fun, entertaining, and one that fulfills you. My grandma and grandpa, they'd fight all the time. When my grandfather passed away, my grandmother was devastated and bored. You know, it's nice to have someone you could bicker with and have fun with. Even your animals. Yeah, when they poop in the litter, it stinks, but when they're gone, you miss it. I like changing the cat litter. I love them. It's worth it. It's just a part of life. And if every day you wake up and realize that you're lucky to have another day to exist and love the person you're with, then that's all you need. They're just trying to confuse us with all this extra stuff that 1,000,000 years from now will also be nowhere to be found. Because a car, does it have a soul? Will you grieve a car? Not the way you're gonna grieve your cat and your dog, your husband, your wife, your mother, your father. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna get too deep into the people we can lose, but the strength that we have to keep going, you have, I have, and we have always had. That's how, as a species, we keep going. So, I'm gonna leave you off with this. Even when someone passes away and leaves this earthly realm, and you think it is over, it is not over. Because you are the summation of everything that you experienced. So the part of life that they occupied with you will always occupy with you for infinity, because it stays with you. So don't grieve, just receive all of that experience that'll be with you from now till forever. Because there is no such thing as time. There's only such thing as a feeling. So keep those feelings of love with you forever. And I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Bye.